Yeah. All right, Lake of Land. We back in the building. Hank and Seven in the building. Shout out to BA. Let's get another episode of the Lake of Land podcast going. Hank, let's take the warm-ups off, brother, and let's spin the Lake of Land wheel for a first topic. Want to take it there before we get into it?
All right, that sounds good.
Let's spin it. All right. Has Laker LeBron been a failure? Has the experience of LeBron in LA to you, Hank, been a failure? What we got? 6 years?
Yeah, I don't call it a failure. Do I think it's better than Miami LeBron or Cleveland LeBron? No, but I don't think it's a failure.
Now, he has spent longer in LA. A lot of people don't realize that his stint in Los Angeles has been longer than the one in Cleveland, either one in Cleveland and in Miami. What is it about the LA experience that you're not putting it at the top?
Well, the amount of success that he had in those other places was crazy. You know what I mean? 4 straight finals, both places. He hasn't had that here in the Lakers. So that's why I'm saying it's not a failure, but it's definitely not up to the same level of winning, I would say, the other places had.
So you're giving credit for the losses of the finals?
I've never like really, what's the word?
You've never vilified. I've never known you to vilify LeBron for making it to so many finals and losing. You've always kind of played it fair in that conversation. So you are clearly giving it a pass now because that's basically what he has to show for it outside of the 3 titles, 2 in Miami, 1 in Cleveland. He has a ton of appearances in the finals.
Correct.
But that's a low. And there's always been an argument in a conversation, especially with LeBron. Sometimes it's like, is his career, is his legacy better not making it to the finals? Because it's like another finals loss looks way bad. Is you're better off not even making it to the finals if you're only going to lose? And you see in Los Angeles, he only went one time and he got the win in 2020. But haven't gotten it done since then. So you still don't hold that against him, the inefficiency of winning the finals?
No, obviously you want to be on the other side of it. What is he? 4-6. You want to be 6-4 or 8-2 or 10-0. But getting there is a big deal. That's why I don't. I always had Magic Johnson in the GOAT room in the GOAT conversation because of how many times he got the Lakers to the finals in that short amount of time. I think that's greatness. You be able to take your team and in a team sport, and you're part of the cog that helps it get there. I'd rather be in the finals than being put out in the first round or not making the playoffs. I think that it just shows you your talent level. And of course, you see with LeBron, he was a big reason for them getting there because when he left, what happened? They're not getting back there every year. So He's a big important part of those teams.
Because experience plays a factor. There's only one team in each conference that's going to get to the final round. But each year, the further you get, you start to develop a little bit more postseason experience. You start to learn the ins and outs, which will, set you up for more success in the following years. So going definitely has to have some type of credibility. When you switch gears, though, Hank, in these 6 years with LeBron and the Lakers, from the Lakers standpoint, from the organizational standpoint, has it been a failure?
The organizational standpoint?
Yes.
I haven't liked the way they've shuffled the roster too many times. That's what especially the 2020 championship team, they should have ran that back. Let them lose and then break it up. They didn't get a chance to defend the championship.
Now, we can definitely question some of the decisions that were made by the organization over the last 6 years, but bringing LeBron into the mix, that decision alone, was that the right move in hindsight? Getting LeBron, ultimately parting ways with a lot of young pieces. When you look back at it for this Lakers organization, who was clearly struggling before he came into the mix, was that the right move?
Yeah, he got a championship, and I mean, I like those young parts were awesome. We can name quite a few of them, but has any one of them won a championship anywhere else right now? And we don't know if collectively they would have done it as well. Lonzo Ball, Clarkson, Randall, who else?
Ingram,
Ingram, Hart.
Josh Hart,
You throw D'Lo in there too if you want
yeah,
to. Lonzo
Larry
Ball,
Nance Jr., yep,
Larry Nance Jr.
Jordan
All of them,
Clarkson,
yeah, all those guys, awesome. With Zubac's another
yep.
guy. All of them would have been great on that team. Would he result in a championship? I don't know. I don't think so. And separately, they haven't been able to pull the plug either.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Hank, on everything. I feel like this overall experience from LeBron's perspective, as well as the organization perspective, has been a plus. It hasn't been perfect. It hasn't necessarily been ideal, but we get the storylines and everything that's going to come with LeBron James no matter where he goes. We also get the storylines and everything that's going to come along with the Lakers because of the type of organization, historic champion organization that they are. But since LeBron has been there, outside of injury, they've been pretty competitive. Won the finals, went to a Western Conference Finals, only missed the playoffs, once, maybe twice
Maybe twice in the 6
in that
years.
6-year period.
And
That's a
to
little
me,
bit
we
something.
count
I don't really sneeze at that because Kobe's missed the playoffs before. D Wade, the greatest.
Jordan,
Jordan has missed the playoffs. And
and it's the latter
I
part
don't
of his
know.
career too.
And then I still question Anthony Davis a little bit as far as who's the leader of the Lakers or who's going to be the future of the Lakers as far as a cornerstone. But LeBron's presence brought that into the mix, so he's helped establish the future for your team. I'm not so sure Anthony Davis will be interested in coming to the Lakers if LeBron was never there.
I'll give it somewhat of a chance because it is LA, it is the Lakers, so they got a shout out just off of that. But having LeBron there definitely was the biggest factor of him being here.
If there was one thing, not that you necessarily agree with, Hank, but just by the masses of Lakerland, if there's one thing that Lakerland should be disappointed with in this experience with LeBron in LA, what would you say it would be?
Disappointment.
Because Lakers Nation, for the most part, we watch comments, they want him out.
Yeah. I think they're ready for the youth movement, which you just talked about. And I think they feel like LeBron is holding that up, but they're not taking into account, again, he did bring a championship. He got us to the conference finals. And some of these moves, even though the organization is making them, they are also doing it because LeBron and AD are here and they are trying to maximize the window. They knew they made a mistake with the Westbrook. They fixed it, got to the conference finals. Now they're trying to adjust again to try to make some more noise while the last couple of years or so as Bron and AD play together. So I think this basically the turnover that they're worried about. They I guess they feel it's not consistent enough, especially since they won the championship. That's probably the Lakers fandom problem is not consistency in the youth for the future.
If anything, Lakers Nation should be disappointed with the term instability through this whole experience with LeBron. There has really been nothing stable happening in Los Angeles for the most part. How many coaches have we went through alone since LeBron has been here? Three?
Yeah.
Three coaches in 6 years? Twice in the last 4 years, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe twice in the last 3 years, we've went a season with two different rosters because we had to make major adjustments at the half, correct?
Correct.
Then you got the whole availability situation with Anthony Davis. And there has been no comfortability LeBron has not brought any stability to Los Angeles. He hasn't put this team in a comfort zone. And I don't know if he is responsible for doing that. But if there's one thing that I could say that Lakerland will probably could be frustrated with, one of the things is just there has been there's just been total instability since he's come here.
Definitely.
You know, but he's doing this thing, and I'm excited. Are you excited from what you're seeing from LeBron right now in international play over there in France?
Both him and AD. It's just will it translate to the season? And they both look amazing over there. And if they play like that for most of the season, of course, into the playoffs, they got a great shot of, championship contention.
What about Rui? Because he's also in the Olympics right now, playing with
Right.
Japan. He took the loss yesterday, but are you impressed with how Rui has played? He looked sharp before he got ejected last night.
Yeah. But of course, he's a vocal point. He's going to play a different role with the Lakers.
Yeah.
But you see it in flashes when he plays with the Lakers, how good he really is. He just has to be consistent enough for them to get to those conference finals and the finals, and try to go for the championship number 18.
I predict you, Hank, myself, and BA, we're gonna have a lot of conversations this season when we talk about Rui Hachimura. I don't think that he's going to end the season in the purple and gold. If you would have to project it, do you see Rui ending the year with the Lakers, or do you think he's going to be part of a trade package before it's all said and done this year?
He's definitely part of a trade package. Him and D'Lo, they're two top names being brought up for trades.
Yeah.
I would say you throw Gabe Vincent in there as well. And if they get a chance to get someone like a Jeremy Grant or something, I think definitely he'll be gone.
I'm looking at social media, Hank, and reports are coming out. Shout out to Lakers Nation that the front office, Rob Pelinka and the company they don't really appear to be in any rush to make any roster moves that you are alluding to. The biggest name in mind has been Jeremy Grant. I want to talk about him real quick with this situation. First of all, first things first, how disappointed have you been with the Lakers being non-existent since they got eliminated as far as making moves? Or do you feel like what they're doing right now is the right decision?
I mean, don't panic, right? That's what got him in trouble the last time with the Westbrook trade. Just make the right moves at the right time, and of course, don't get overtaxed. Me and you have talked about that Laker tax situation. Yeah. It seems like every team is throwing an extra draft pick or two on top of whatever trades the Lakers are proposing. So don't rush, make the right move. And some of these teams are going to be desperate anyway at some point, and you'll be able to make a move that benefits the team.
The Laker tax specifically that you're talking about, really, it seems to me, and you broke it down wonderfully on playback yesterday, when we talk about Jeremy Grant, when we talk about a possible trade that would include Rui Hachimura, Portland, according to reports, is asking for 2 first-round picks in the trade package for Jeremy Grant. I asked you, would you have a problem with the Lakers giving up 2 first and Rui, or 2 first and D'Lo for Jeremy Grant? Spinning the block on that question, what would be your reaction and your thoughts on the Lakers giving up 2 first-round picks and either Rui or D'Lo for Jeremy Grant?
Right. So I have a problem with the first-round pick situation. I mean, Jeremy's a very good player, even great maybe, but I mean, I don't think his value is 2 draft picks. Especially when you're giving him back talent. So I forgot what the trade proposal was, but it was great talent on that team that you're giving up for him. And maybe you throw a second-round pick or 2 in there. That should be fine. You shouldn't have to give up multiple first-round picks to get Jeremy Grant.
When you look at the contracts, to me, Jeremy Grant is better than Rui right now. But ultimately, if you was to keep Rui, you will have Rui off your books, I believe, after next year. You would have Jeremy Grant on your books for 3 years, $100 million if they was to trade him. So it's just like, if that's the case, the Lakers should be the one asking for draft picks, not giving them up to Portland. If
Right.
you understand what I'm saying, and we would have to take on that much of the responsibility of that contract and him being around. Hopefully, we would hope that it works out. But what if it didn't? What if it was Russell Westbrook 2.0 for whatever reason? Maybe not to that magnitude, but what if he just did not work out? We would have now given away all our capital and got rid of Rui. I'm still questionable about Rui. I don't know if he's ready to take that extra step because I felt like he needed to be that third person along with LeBron and AD. I expected him to be that last year, and for real, to me, he wasn't.
I expected D'Lo,
You
not Rui.
expected D'Lo.
D'Lo's an all-star, not Rui. Rui is a great story and he's developing well, but he's not no all-star. So D'Lo was the one I expected to be the third wheel.
You bring up D'Angelo Russell, briefly talking about him. What's the scenario with D'Lo? Because now, as I've been saying over the summer, there's no teams in competition that's going to trade their core for D'Angelo Russell.
That's the rumor I've heard with Portland. They don't want him.
Portland ain't even a competitor. Name a competitor. Name a team in the playoff hunt that will be willing to take D'Lo but give up part of the core that they've built to get to where they are. I can't think of one.
No, I can't.
So you have now put out there that you're willing to trade him or you're looking to shop D'Angelo Russell. What do you think that's going to do to his mental going into training camp, starting the season off? Now we have a point guard who feel like he's not wanted. We have LeBron, AD, and Rui coming off of Olympic play. We have a coaching staff who's going to be coming together for the first time. Man.
I still think it's doable. It's all about, again, the two pieces itself, LeBron, AD, holding it down.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at that point, I think it's just, I would put that on coaching, getting the team together. How's this coaching staff going to, get everybody together and ready for the season? But LeBron and AD are very, very important in this. Very.
Lakerland will hope that patience is definitely a virtue. Earlier today, in other NBA news, Gordon Haywood had announced his retirement. Kind of far-fetched, Hank, but could you possibly see the Lakers bringing him out of retirement before the season is over with? And could Gordon Haywood be a plus for the Lakers, considering that he would take a minimum?
Unless you're trying to get some locker room, leadership or whatever. I think that he's had so many injuries and things like that. He's not. I think that's part of the reason why he's retiring. OKC, the owner or whatever, who it was, the GM came out and said they regretted the trade. Remember?
Oh yeah.
So I think that he just can't. He's not able to play up to the level that he once was at, and that's probably part of his reason for retirement. But I don't see the Lakers going after him. I think they need other things.
They need a shooter.
They need a shooter.
He's not that.
Not what he used to be. No.
Yeah, but I'm saying I figured coming in halfway the season, he's not going to have a very important.
I don't think so. I'd rather you get Lonnie. Is Lonnie still out there?
Lonnie Walker? Is Lonnie Walker going to take a minimum? No.
I don't know.
And we read that book before with Lonnie Walker.
He showed up
bad. The Lakers made the playoffs that year. That was the year that they didn't make it, right?
Remember he had that game where he showed out and won the game for him. So that's what you need for your guys. You need guys that can get you some games here and there.
I can't remember him ever winning a playoff game for the Lakers. Really?
Yeah, he had that one game. You don't remember that? Bron and AD was, basically putting him on his shoulders in victory. Yeah. Nice. Lonnie had that one game, won and showed out.
Nasty, nasty work. So let's get to the last two topics of the show. The main topics. Let's do a little bit of addition by subtraction, Hank. What both units are going to need to win a title? We need to separate the Lakers real quick, if we may. the starting five, that core has been together for a minute. Then we got this unpredictable second unit, everybody on the roll as role players. What is it going to take, in your opinion, Hank, for this thing to work? When you separate the starting five, Rui, D'Lo, uh, Austin Reeves, LeBron, AD. Do you think JJ should stay with that five? Forget all this trade talk, go down with the ship of that five, or do you think that it might be necessary to make a move in that starting five? Let's start with them.
So you're saying AD, D'Lo, Austin, and who else?
Hachimura and Rui.
Hachimura.
Pretty much that's been the core for the last 3 years anyway.
Right, but Ham was adjusting that lineup so much they didn't really get a lot of, I say, continuity with it. If that makes sense. If he's going to do it, let's see what happens when you keep him in there and let him work together. And like I said, I believe in both D'Lo and Rui. They just got to be in the right positions and play their roles in that position, along with AD and LeBron. But if it's a big trade, if it's the right trade, yes.
Okay. All right. Do you like seeing guys like Rui? D'Lo, I don't have a problem with. But still, do you like seeing guys play better with LeBron off the court than LeBron on the court? Especially your starters. Because last year, D'Lo played very well when LeBron wasn't on the court. And Rui played much better when LeBron wasn't on the court, even though he worked with LeBron one-on-one all summer prior. Does that feel good to you or not? It feels weird to me because you would want to see people do good without LeBron, but you're not going to win without LeBron. So if you can't win with him on the court, then you're not doing any justice to the team.
It's style of play. So D'Lo touched on that last year on his podcast. I don't think Anthony Davis was in that one, but he was on the podcast. And it may have been more of a shot at Darvin Ham.
Okay.
But his style of play, he likes to have the ball more in his hands as well. And that might be part of the problem when LeBron is on the court. His style, he can't play his style of basketball till he feels he's more effective in. And maybe that's the same thing with Rui. But you have to adjust to win. Even LeBron's teammate, D Wade, who we just seen in these Olympic Games, has said that you got to adjust when you play with LeBron. Have to.
But it works. He gets you to the promised land. He wins. That's my thing. Why go against what works?
Like what is it? What James Harden say? I am the system.
Yep.
That's LeBron. He is the system. So you guys have to adjust and play their roles in order for if LeBron is on the floor. But when he's off, they might shine more in star power because now, he off the floor. I can do what I feel I'm the best at. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense only if you don't if you don't step backwards when he comes back on the basketball court. I need you to, at the worst, be on the treadmill. You going backwards when he gets in the game doesn't help me at all. So I'm good with what you're saying as far as the starting five. Let's see what it looks like. Let's give it a real chance because we really didn't have a real opportunity. Even last year from the start, Darvin benched Austin Reeves. He benched D'Lo.
Rui.
It was rocky road from the start. So I agree. But now here's the most important thing. This is the most important thing, Hank. LeBron history has shown he's not winning a championship without a good supporting cast. I don't care how great he is. You look at this role, you look at this team, for the who we have coming off of the bench: Christian Wood, Max Christie, Cam Reddish, Dalton Connect, Bronny James, Gabe Vincent. It is a nightmare.
Questions, a lot of questions. Now, I really do like Dalton Connect. I think if I hear him in trade talks too, might be a piece. But
really
watching his game, yeah, they're floating. They say he played well enough to where they can put him in a package to get something. But I feel he could be maybe something like Jaime Jaquez was for Miami and really make an impact on the team. I feel like he has enough play. His play style can be effective for the Lakers, especially with the shooting. So let's see how that turns out. But I think he could be an asset off the bench if it all, works out.
I need you to show me any reports that you come across about any talks about trading Dalton Connect. I never saw anything like that, and that would be a horrific move. He was a steal, if you ask me. And if they trade him and kept Bronny, no disrespect, it's just more of an issue. That would be terrible. Even though he could be of value, use him. Use him.
I think he'd be an asset. I do.
Is he the best player on the bench? That's the problem. Dalton Connect might actually be from a skill set position. Who's better than him coming off of the bench?
And then again, Gabe Vincent was such an outlier. We don't know what he's going to do. Last year was going the whole year. He had a good season in Miami. Is that person going to show up this year? And if he does, then we'll say he's probably the best player on the bench.
I don't believe in Gabe. Gabe is a one-hit wonder. That was a Cinderella story in Miami. I didn't know nothing about him before, and he ain't shown me nothing after. And Miami didn't win the finals that year that he had breakout year. Look at the other. Yeah. It is sad that Dalton Connect really could be the best player on coming off of the bench. That's not good at all.
Christian Wood, we know he can explode offensively when he wants to, but it's not solid. It's not guaranteed. My boy Killer Cam, I'm rooting for him, but he's not showing up offensively.
Offensively, he's nothing.
Defensively, he's not bad. He's pretty good defensively, but offensively, that's what they need. They need scoring. And he's not showing up. Even if it's just driving to the basket and getting some tough,
or drawing some defenders, helping wide open shots for Dalton Connect in the corner, stuff like that, manipulating the defense. I don't even know what type of intelligent players. We don't even have any high basketball IQ guys coming off of the bench. Shit, what if Bronny is the smartest?
That's what I'm saying. Unless it's Bronny going to be the new Draymond or Manu or Jokic in the second round, come out and be a star.
We know he ain't ready to do that right now. He need to be in the G League.
Was he 18, 19 now still?
Yeah. Yep. And then like you mentioned yesterday on Playback in Lakerland about the Suns picking up Tyus Jones.
Yeah, I really wanted the Lakers to get him.
Wanted. And that was for a league minimum, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but they'll mark my words. Phoenix, as long as they're healthy, they're going to be a better team with him holding down the point guard, getting guys set up because he's great at that.
That's what they didn't have last year. That was one of their problems. They didn't have nobody to set him up. He could get exposed though because he's going to have more of a responsibility. So we'll see what type of player he really is.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
Like get it in Memphis
on a small scale, but we've seen Jalen Brunson get that opportunity and really maximize and capitalize from it. You know what I mean? And then he got his own team in New York. Tyus, I'm not saying that he has an opportunity to take over Phoenix, but I do think that going into the signing of him, I think his role of importance is going to be way more once we get into the actual season of basketball. But, I'm disappointed. I wasn't really hoping that the Lakers was going to pick him up. He wasn't on my radar, but just seeing everything that's happening with D'Angelo Russell, and then you look at the lack of guys that you have on this bench, moves are going to have to be made, but I just don't know. Last question, Hank, before we get up out of here. Missed opportunities. Since we've got eliminated in real time, if you can think back, since we got eliminated by the Denver Nuggets, has the Lakers missed any real opportunities to get better
this year? So
you got the Klay Thompson, DeMar DeRozan, all these guys. I don't know if we want to put blame on the Lakers for that, or this was just those guys wanted to do other things. So were there any real honest missed opportunities that the Lakers didn't capitalize on since we've been eliminated?
I don't think so. Of course, we don't know the internal backstory. I wish we had some insiders. Come email us at Liquorland so we can get some insiders. If you got it, we'll definitely take it on the platform and talk about it. But
absolutely.
Maybe they, like I said, LeBron said he was going to take a little bit less for Clay. Um, was it DeMar and
DeRozan,
yeah, and the guy that went to what the Wizards center, Valanciunas.
Valanciunas. Yep.
Yeah. So if he really put those fillers out there, they did their job. Now those guys made the best decision for them. Clay has mentioned it. DeMar's mentioned it. They weren't willing to take any pay cuts and things of that nature. And of course, the elephant in the room is that California tax. People are trying to avoid some of that stuff too. Um, even though DeMar did go to Sacramento, but some of that as well, play time, all that stuff mattered to them as well. So, and having they felt they had a better chance maybe of winning in those spots as well, except for the Wizards. Don't know what that one is about. But yeah, if they did their job behind the scenes, then no, not really a missed opportunity. Just guys made the best decisions that was for them.
I don't like the fact that it just seemed like Rob Pelinka has been sitting on his hands, doing absolutely nothing. But in hindsight, what have we missed out on? When it's we speaking from an emotional standpoint, you want this guy to do something, but logically thinking, rushing something like you said, we've rushed before and seen the demise for rushing. And there's nobody right now in free agency that's changing life. We can't afford right now. There's no trade deals right now that's out there that's going to change life for the Lakers. So maybe patience is key. But I just don't like all the reports, bro, in the meantime that could hinder the psyche of some of our guys that we're going to need.
Right. So D-Lo, where you already remember I told you Bronny's a tough-minded person. D-Lo has had to become tough-minded because he's always in some type of trade talk. He's been traded multiple times. So I think this is kind of not a shock to him. He wants to be in LA. He opted back in. He's also talked about wanting to stay in LA and play with Bron and AD. Him and AD are really tight. But I'm sure mentally he's like, okay, whatever happens. But I think that he's going to tough it out mentally and do his part to help the team win and hopefully stay.
I say stick with D-Lo. To me, there's not better. There are better out there. I don't know if there's better out there for the Lakers.
And then he's an all-star guard. He can give you he's giving you all-star game levels during the season. Remember, even against my Pistons, remember that time I told you he gonna put up 30 against them, and he did. There's gonna be games where he just goes off. And you need that during the season. He just got to do it in the playoffs. That's the biggest thing.
That's the thing. And that's where we're getting off of the bus with D'Angelo Russell, because we can praise what he does in the 82 games forever and ever. Without it, we might not have a chance to play in the postseason. But when you are a part of the Lakers, championship is the ultimate expectation. What you do in April matters so much. Right. And no matter how good you've been, no matter how much chemistry you guys have from November to March, if this one guy is holding y'all back, bro, you have no choice but to get rid of him. Right. And I don't know if it's just the matchup because, it's been the Denver Nuggets. Right. So maybe it's that.
And they're getting worse. They keep losing players. So,
yep. And now they got Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook in the last 3 years have played 80% of the games, while Jamal Murray for the last 3 seasons have played 50% of the games. So Nikola Jokic is about to feel it. Just like KD did, just like LeBron did. Nikola Jokic is about to get his fair share of Russell Westbrook. I can't wait to see that drama.
Shout out to Westbrook, but I don't consider him a factor in them winning a championship.
Really?
I mean, you think he's going to lead Denver to the championship?
I think he would have to. If Denver to me, I told you years ago, Denver does not scare me. Even though they won the chip, I've been saying it in Lakerland since we started. The Nuggets are not a team I felt like we're going to be repeating. I don't see dynasty out that organization. And now that we're seeing some of these other teams getting better, if Denver's going to get back to where they're supposed to be or where they want to be, Russell would have to play damn near like a starter coming off of the second unit. He would have to clearly be the best player coming off the bench.
if he can do what Jason Kidd did in his latter years for Dallas, then you might be talking about something.
Russell was playing well for the Lakers before he got traded, coming off of the bench when
he took a lot of flack for the Lakers organization. It just wasn't a good fit. That's it. It's not, he wasn't a bad player. He played like Russell Westbrook, but that was the thing. You can't put that with AD and LeBron. It wasn't going to work. But when you need shooting, so he's he's going to be an energy guy. I think he helped the Clippers, in my opinion. He's going to help Denver. I just don't know if he's going to be a piece that's going to get them a championship. They lost Jeff Green, Bruce Brown? Who else? They lost a couple others. Reggie Jackson, a few other players that's gone now.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Well, Lakerland, we'll see how this thing play out, but shout out to you guys for always rocking out with us. About to wrap things up here. We just missed BA. BA was in the DM. BA was in the DM. I didn't even know. So we'll make sure we get BA to rock out.
Let me mention this one more name, Seven.
We
forgot KCP. They lost KCP
to Orlando. He had a real good interview, I think, with Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Talking that talk. Shout out to
BA.
Shout out to BA. Get your bars up. Make sure y'all subscribe to Sports Gang Vision, as that platform is growing by the day. And make sure you guys smash that like button for us at Lakerland, as we are turning it up in the offseason, getting ready for the upcoming NBA season. Like, comment, and subscribe. Become a member as well of the platform. Stay safe until our next video. Seven, Mitchell, and Hank, we are signing off. Peace, Lakerland.